Well, there's this new composition and new members on board over here of Dr. Shyam Prasad Mookerjee Research Foundation. And I'm joined by one such person, Professor Kanagasabapathi ji with me. He's the person who has been selected as a trustee and secretary of this particular research foundation, the think tank. If you can throw a bit of light about the composition of this new members who have been brought in and how this foundation is functioning currently.
This foundation was started in 1993. Dr. Syama Prasad Mookerjee Research Foundation. It is All India BJP's think tank. So now it comprises of 7 trustees who are largely from the intellectual backgrounds, nationalistic thinking and BJP. So there are about 7 trustees now. The earlier trustees include former President Ram Govindji and Arun Jaitley and senior people like Dr. Harshvardhan, etc. So now newly reconstituted Board of Trustees have come. So changes in the responsibilities also. So now we have new chairman, new secretary and new treasurer. So these trustees are from different parts of the country, north, south, east and west. So the idea is to put forth the nationalistic thoughts, nationalistic narratives among people of different regions, different parts of the country. So that is the idea.
Okay. Sir, what is your view ahead to foresee and take this foundation ahead?
No, yeah, it's largely the responsibility of the board as such. Of course, we discussed about it yesterday. So now the idea is to take this to different parts of the country, for which we are planning centers in different parts of the country. Second idea is to develop monographs in vernacular languages, monographs relating to nationalistic thoughts, ideas with nationalistic orientations. So this we have discussed. Third, our plan is to develop long-term blueprint as well as short-term, next 1 year what we are going to do. Now the Western media, Western intellectual leftist liberal groups, they are all attacking India with the sole intention to defame the present BJP government, defame our Honorable Prime Minister, defame our nation as a whole, and our civilization also, for which we all have to take steps. These are all done with ulterior motives. It is the vested interests who are doing this. So we all have to work against it, particularly in the next 1 year, 8 or 9 or 10 months. I think it may be more also. They may come up with more false stories and all. You know how some of the US-based media, particularly newspapers, they put out even false news items also. So these are all going to be a part of our life which we have to face. But otherwise, our whole idea is to create a nationalistic kind of narrative in all walks of life, whether it is, as you rightly said, one nation idea, or whether it is relating to various other aspects concerned with our lives, day-to-day activities. All nationalistic, from the nationalistic point of view, we want to put forth our views, because this is a great civilization. I, for myself, have been engaged in studying India from the field level for the last 30 plus years, and this is a great country. In spite of all problems in the Western nations today, why we remain as one of the sound economies is largely based on our traditions, our culture. So only when you go, you will understand it. For the first time, we have a leader, we have a prime minister who understands this, as a result of which now we are emerging as a global power. And there is no doubt we will become a very important country in the next few years. So we are on the way. Our progress is on diverse fields. There are two reasons. One is, of course, leadership. Second one is we have the base, we have foundations, which people have never bothered, ruling establishments have never bothered to understand. So that is the reason why at the time of independence we were one of the poorest countries in the world. But today, if you take India on PPP terms, we are the third largest economy in the world, and we are the fastest growing economy in the world. And London Business School a few years back had estimated that we have the largest number of entrepreneurs in India. At that time, 85 million, 8.5 crores. Now it will be much more. So we have base, culture is our base, and our people have enormous entrepreneurial wisdom. If you take India in the last 70 years, India has grown. It was growing even in the earlier period, in spite of confusions and contradictions at the policy making circles, because India is driven by her great culture. That is the reason. You take Surat, now 2 lakh crore annual turnover. You take Tirupur in Tamil Nadu, 65,000 crores. It exports 40% of India's knitted garments. So similar to this, there are about 2,000 plus clusters in India, all naturally grown, without any foreign investment. No MBA went there, no IIT graduate went there, all because of native business wisdom, native economic wisdom. So we have enormous advantage as a nation. And fortunately, now Prime Minister Modi understands this, and then he is trying to implement policies based on this. You may be knowing, we all know, just before Corona, March 2020, we don't have any PPE kits. Within 9 months, India became self-sufficient. I come from Coimbatore. I know in Coimbatore and Tirupur, many people immediately took advantage of the government policies and then started making it. So within 9 months, we became self-sufficient. So January 2021, we started exporting. Today, we are the second largest exporters in the world. Can you believe it? It happened within 1 year, 1.5 years, because our people are basically people with enormous entrepreneurial wisdom, and the government understands it and makes policies based on it. So that is the reason. So India will certainly grow as a nation. So only thing is the vested interest within and from outside the country, they are trying to create troubles, and they are trying to sow seeds of discord among the public. So these are all the difficulties that we educated people have to face. So we have to give suitable reply to them.